Hello, welcome to Working Dad Trader. This is the November Trading 212 portfolio update and review. I did my first one in October, so in this video I'm going to show you how things have changed and what's happened over the last month. I use Trading 212 simply because I find it really easy to use, and it's also very cheap to use. There's no fees when buying and selling. If you're also interested in using Trading 212 and putting some money onto the Trading 212 app, then if you click on my friends link below, you will get a free share from Trading 212, and so will I. So what's better than a bit of free money? Okay, so let's go and have a look. This is my November Trading 212 portfolio. What has happened since the October portfolio review? Quite a lot's happened in the last month. I think on my last video I was around 18, about 18% up, and things are looking quite good. Obviously, since that, we've had a presidential election results, and there's been a few sort of second wave virus things going on as well. So I expected my portfolio to go down until some things were sorted out, especially the presidential election. And sure enough, I did another video saying my stock portfolio had crashed, and it crashed down to about 7% on around the start of November, which was expected. And in one of my videos I said that I was not too worried and I was expecting it to go back up again once things had got sorted out. So it's gradually built back up, and it's gone back to roughly about 12.8%. Obviously, we've had the presidential election. Things are not completely sorted out with that, which I think was a bit of a surprise, maybe. I think until that is finally sorted out, and it is eventually Biden is installed as the new president, I think we might just bounce around a bit for a while. I think once that is confirmed, I expect the portfolio to go up again. There's also been a lot of good news on vaccines being released, so it's been up and down. It's been a bit choppy over the last week or so. As soon as you get good news on a positive vaccine coming out, the stock market sort of jumps up quite a bit, and then within a couple of days it goes back down again. So still a lot going on in the market, but there are also good investment opportunities on some of these dips. But I expect through December that eventually the portfolio will go up. Back in sort of September time, I was expecting my portfolio to finish the end of the year on 20 to 22% up. Maybe that was setting it a bit high. I don't know. We'll see. At current, like I say, it's just under 13%. So there's still a long way behind that. But I think December will be a good month once things get sorted, once the presidential election in the US gets sorted, and then we can get some stimulus into the US market from the Fed. And then I think we'll see some positive upward momentum on that. As far as has there been much change on my portfolio, there was a bit of a sell-off with Alibaba, and that's still been going down of late, with a lot of news to do with the extra regulations that the Chinese authorities are going to start putting on the tech companies in China. so they've dropped off quite a bit. I also did a quick video on Alibaba. Is it a buy? And I still think Alibaba is a buy. I've been buying bits and pieces of Alibaba, why it's dropped. Obviously, I originally bought down when it was around the 230 mark. It currently stands at 255, and I've been buying on a couple of occasions over the last few weeks just to strengthen my position in Alibaba. I still think Alibaba's a massive company. It's got such a massive market over in China, and it's trying to expand even further into more parts of Asia. So I'm still very bullish on that. I've also been buying a little bit more with bits of Amazon, Microsoft, and Facebook. There's a little bit of a sell-off on the tech stocks because of the news of the new vaccines coming through. They had a bit of a sell-off, so I did buy little bits of Amazon, Microsoft, and Facebook just to strengthen those positions. But other than that, I've just been monitoring what's been going on. A lot of my stocks are still pretty healthy. I'm still quite happy with my portfolio. It is still quite tech heavy, but I've got a lot of other things in there as well, like Canadian Solar, Coca-Cola, Consolidated Water, which is still down a little bit, CVS Health, which has improved a lot over the last few weeks, so I'm really happy with that one. iShares Global Clean Energy, it's been up and down a little bit, but that's still positive. PayPoint was one that I bought just before, I think, my October video, when that sort of crashed a bit, and I got that one right down under the 530 mark, and it's currently on the way back up to 592. So I'm quite happy with that. I think in the UK, PayPoint is quite a big company. A lot of people still pay for their gas and electric and different things with PayPoint in shops, on cards. So I'm still hoping to get it back to around the £7, £7.50 mark. And then I probably will look to sell on that one. But we'll see. I'm still quite happy holding that stock at the moment, and hoping for a recovery on that one. Obviously the only other thing I did was with Twitter. I actually sold a small part in Twitter. I bought Twitter stock back in sort of March, April time, when it was around $31. So when it was quite low. So I've held it for quite a while. I've sold about 15% of my stock holding in Twitter. The reason being, obviously, there was news coming out in the third quarter that Twitter's growth in users didn't hit expectations. In quarter two, they had 20 million new users, while in quarter three, they only managed 1 million new users on Twitter, which isn't great. Obviously, the growth has slowed, and every quarter since about 2018, they've added more and more users to Twitter. So this was the first time that growth definitely went backwards, as far as obviously from 20 million it's gone back to 1 million. And there was a lot of I was looking at some of the financials, and there was a few red flags appearing that concerned me. So I've already made quite a nice profit on Twitter, I decided to start looking to sell some of my Twitter. If we get down to the financials. So I sold at $42, so I was quite happy to sell part of my stake from $31 to 42, and still make a profit. But there was a few things that concerned me with Twitter. That's why I sold some of it off. The revenue is still going. I mean, from 2018, it was 3 billion, and it's still gone up to 3.4, nearly 3.5 billion. The total operating expenses have gone from 2.6 million up to just over 3 billion, which that was a bit of concern for me, that the expenses have gone up in line with their revenue. So they're not, even though they're taking more money, they're not generating more money. Net income has gone from 1.2 billion up to 1.47 billion. So that in itself doesn't look too bad. It was more of when you start looking at things on the balance sheet. The cash pile they have on cash and cash equivalents it's gone from 1.66 billion slightly down to 1.54 billion. When we look at the current liabilities, 2018 it was 1.5 billion, and it's gone down on that one to 8.32 billion, and you think, well, that's not too bad. Total liabilities, 2018 it was 3.3 billion, and it's rose to 4 billion, which was a concern. But it's when you get into the quarterlies, in quarter 3 the total liability is gone up to 5.28 billion, where on quarter 4 of 2019 it was only the 4 billion. So they're taking on a lot more debt, which was worrying to me, and it also a bit of a red flag. And if you look at the current liabilities, quarter 4 of 2019, their current liabilities was only 832 million, when quarter 3 it's 1.94 billion pounds of current liabilities. So that's pretty much doubled, which was a concern to me with Twitter. That's why I decided to sell it off a bit. If we also look at on Yahoo Finance, this sort of gives a bit more information. I was looking also at the cash flow statement. And we bring the cash flow statement down. And we look at the free cash flow at the bottom. This is 2018, 670 billion, 855 million, and 762, and it's dropped down to 451, which again was a concern to me. And it's just the debt they've taken on. I think they've been investing a lot in the stock market over the last few years, purchases of investments where they were only putting in 2.6, 2.9. It's been suddenly jumped up to 5.3, 5.8, 5.9. So the company are investing an awful lot of money into the stock market, which is also worrying, as well as taking on more debt. So to me, that was a few red flags. So that's why I decided to sell a little bit of Twitter. I still hold a small portion still in Twitter. I'm still holding just over 2 shares of Twitter. So I'm happy at the moment because obviously it's still in profit. But I decided that to sell some of the Twitter off. I'm not so confident with Twitter going forward, and I might still look to sell some more further on that one. So that's pretty much my trading 212 portfolio update. Like I say, December I feel will be more of a positive month. We need to get the presidential thing sorted out. The stimulus needs to come in from the Fed, and I think that also will push it up. Historically, December is always quite a good month as well, pushing the stock market up. So we shall see. Well, I hope you found that really useful. As you can see, I don't have tons and tons of money, but it's best to start somewhere. And my plan and my mission is to slowly keep putting into the stock market bits and bobs at a time, and hopefully, like you can, we can all change our financial future and hopefully build our long-term wealth. Thank you very much for watching, and I really do hope to see you soon. Take care.